Hi everyone, this is Austin Burns here, your favorite tenor, and since we've started a new year, I thought I would look back on all the things that I've accomplished in 2019, so here is my year in review. First off, I think my biggest accomplishment was that I finally finished my debut album, An Evening in Naples. I actually did a whole video where I talked about that album in depth, but I'll give just a few of the highlights. I recorded my whole album with this one microphone. It's an SL150 Studio Series. I've been very happy with it. I did all the album artwork myself. You can see what it looks like here. I accomplished that by using my iPhone 7 camera, just a brick wall, the building that I live in, and I used a camera stand, which I will show you what it looks like. I'm using it right now. Let's see if I can. So that's what it looks like. I used an app called Right Behind to put the text on top of the pictures. I used disc makers to make the physical CDs. It was kind of a mixed bag, but they're okay. For the distribution, Disc Makers has a partnership with CD Baby, and for the free version of my album that I had with the watermark, I used Amuse, which is a free way to get your music on various online platforms. I had a decent amount of fundraising success over this past year. I was able to go on a choir trip to Germany over this past summer. It was me and my wife. I was able to raise that money through a lot of different concerts that I did, some patrons who sponsored me, and savings from my voice lessons. I also started to put together my first solo tour, which will be this coming July. I've already got 4 dates booked for it. I started with planning out my route, then I decided where I wanted to stop, stopping near large cities. Then I made a list of venues, retirement communities, libraries, and historic houses. And then I outsourced a lot of the legwork, emailing those places through this site called Upwork, where you can hire someone to do a lot of clerical work. Then I planned a free or cheap lodging using Couchsurfing and Hostel World apps that you can download for free on your phone. Another accomplishment that I am proud of is that I shed my comparisons to entrepreneurs. I stopped following people like Vanessa Lau, and instead I decided to read some books that were in the self-help genre, as well as books by artists, musicians, filmmakers, and to kind of get an idea of how people work in the arts. I'd like to go over the top 10 list of books that I read with you. I'm just going to put them on the screen so you can see a full list. And then next week, I'll go into detail about what the books are about. Also, I'm going to put a list in the description of all the books that I've read this year. So getting back to the accomplishments of 2019, I started weekly videos on YouTube. I already had a YouTube channel, but I posted very erratically. I would post in large batches, and generally it would just be videos of me performing live. So what I did was learned how to edit movies in iMovie, learned how to overlay text and pictures, and learned how to create backgrounds, which this is just a sheet that I ironed and stuck up on my wall. I also became a music minister, so I was able to quit my job in Lexington, which freed up a lot of time which I spent commuting. Found a job which is closer. It's in New Bedford, higher pay. I'm also in control of the musical selection. I lead a choir, and I'm improving my piano skills because I am also an accompanist for the church. Largely because of this move to a more local job, I was able to cut back on the amount of students that I had because a lot of them were in Lexington. So I went from 5 students down to 1, and now I'm able to devote a lot more of that time to finding gigs. I also embrace new organizational tools, specifically Google Sheets. I used it in creating the different documents for my tour, lists of retirement communities, of libraries and historic houses, but also my regular list of retirement communities. I organized it by locations. It makes things so much easier when booking, and especially when you can see where things are, you can try to book more around where you live. On a bit of a somber note, I did lose my mother this year, and that was really difficult. She'd been struggling for over a year with kidney cancer, and I was able to visit her multiple times, very hard, and I was able to perform 2 songs that she had requested at her memorial service. I did write several songs in her honor. One is on my YouTube channel already. There's 2 more that I haven't yet published, but I will in the coming months. And I have been seeing therapists to deal with my own grief. I have been talking to some of her friends as well as members of my family about my mother and their experience with her. So I love you, Mom. On a happier note though, my wife and I did celebrate our 1-year adoption anniversary of Clementine, our cat, our lovely calico puddle, who I'll show some videos of right after this. It's been mostly a great year. It's been a year of great loss with my mother, but that's life. Thank you for watching this video. As always, if you are interested in more videos, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when a video comes out, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much. If you want to contribute to my ability to make these videos, feel free to visit my Patreon page. And also you can always visit my website for my new album. It's also available on Spotify with the watermark. You can also buy it on Amazon or iTunes.
So satisfying to destroy things.